So, if you drop a lead weight and a feather, both fall downwards because of gravity. However, the feather is slowed much more by the air. So, if there were no air resistance, both objects would fall with the same downward acceleration, which is 9.8 meter per second square. And this is called the acceleration of free fall. It is the same for all objects falling near the Earth's surface, light and heavy alike. So, a light object like a feather can trap more air because it is light. So light objects trap more air, that's why the feather would be slowed much more compared to a lead weight. But if there is no air resistance, any object, whether it is heavy or light, would fall with the same downward acceleration, which is 9.8 meter per second square. This is the acceleration of free fall, and it is the same for any object falling near the Earth's surface, light and heavy alike. So the acceleration of free fall is represented by the symbol g. The value of g near the Earth's surface is close to 10 meter per second. This is also called the gravitational field strength of Earth. Now let's understand how we can measure g. So an experiment to find g is as follows. The principle is to measure the time taken for a steel ball to drop through a known height and to calculate the acceleration from this. So the air resistance has little effect on a small heavy ball falling only a short distance, so the ball's acceleration is effectively g. So the apparatus is made where there are two light beams, one at the starting from where the ball is going to be falling and one at the end where the ball is going to hit the ground. There is an electromagnet that is holding the ball, so when the power to the electromagnet is cut, the ball is dropped. And the electronic timer is automatically switched on when the ball passes through the upper light beam and switched off when it passes through the lower beam. So if the height of the fall is h and the time is taken as t, then g can be calculated using this equation. G is equal to 2h upon time square. So 2 multiplied by the height of the fall divided by t square, which means if we multiply the time by itself twice. So when 2h is divided by t square, we get g. So now let's look at this example over here. Assume that g is equal to 10 meter per second square and that there is no air resistance. So as an upward velocity of 30 meter per second is the same as the downward velocity of minus 30 meter per second, the motion of this ball can be described like this. So when it is thrown upwards at 0 seconds, the downward velocity is minus 30 meter per second. And after 1 second, the downward velocity increases. So it becomes minus 20 meter per second. After 3 seconds, it increases to minus 10 meter per second. And after 3 seconds, it reaches 0 meter per second. Then after 4 seconds, it becomes 10 meter per second, 5 seconds 20 meter per second, and 6 seconds it comes to 30 meter per second. So the thing is that whether the ball is traveling up or down, it is gaining downward velocity at the rate of 10 meters per second. So it always has a downward acceleration of 10 meter per second square, which is g. Even when the ball is moving upwards or is stationary at its highest point, it still has downward acceleration. So this is what this experiment is telling us, that the ball or any object or anything always has a downward velocity, which is basically the Earth's gravitational field strength, which we call g. So g is the downward velocity of Earth. So because the gravitational field strength has a force on us, we always have a downward acceleration or velocity of 10 meter per second square, which is also called g.